Now, the one thing is clear in our mind, that not all microorganisms are harmful, okay, and also not all microorganisms are useful for us. Fine. So there are categories. One category is useful for us, another category is not useful for us. So the categories of the organisms which is involved in causing a disease, we refer those organisms as the pathogens. Write it down. Pathogens, the organisms which have the capability to cause a disease. Fine. And this causing ability is referred by one term that is called as the pathogenicity. Pathogenicity. Okay, sometimes also used one interchangeable word, but that's not appropriate. That's not a simultaneous word which we will discuss ahead in upcoming lectures, but they are also sometimes using virulence. So these both terms denotes about the causing ability, okay, disease causing ability of the pathogens. Okay, now then there is one question. Okay, the question is how we can classify that one category of organism is a pathogens and one category of organism is not a pathogens. Is there any way to classify this? Yes. It started earlier. During the 17th century. There was one scientist, write their name, full name. We have to respect the scientist, like we have to respect, because they done some of the works which is like really very, you can say, useful for the human society as well as the whole environment. Okay, so one of the you can say the scientists which are able to, you can say, provide the criteria, okay, to you can say establish the judgment about the pathogen. Okay, and he's called Robert Koch. Okay, he given one postulates, okay, that's called as the Koch postulate. Koch postulates. During that time he was working on two diseases. Okay, the one is cholera, okay, and another one is tuberculosis, TB. Both are bacterial disease. Okay, both are the bacterial disease, and he worked on this, you can say, the disease condition. Now he given 4 set of postulates. Okay, 4 set of postulates. The first postulate says that the microorganism must always be found in similarly diseased animal, not in healthy one. You get it, the point? Means the organisms which is causing a disease, okay, it will only, you can say, found in the diseased person, not in the healthy person. So this is the first postulate. Write it down. The microorganism must found in diseased person. Okay. The second postulate he provided is that these microorganisms which is involved in the present in the diseased person, not in the healthy person, okay, it can be, you can say, cultivated. Okay, it can be cultivated, understanding it can be isolated. Okay, and when this isolated microorganism is inoculated into the normal human body, transferred into the normal body, it must cause the disease. It must cause the disease. Okay. So second thing is, if these isolated microorganism is transferred into the healthy person, it must causes the disease in the healthy person. That's the second set of postulate. The first postulate, he said that the microorganism must found in the unhealthy person and not present in the healthy person. Second thing, the second postulate he said is that the microorganism which is involved in the disease process, that microorganism, once we isolate and inoculate into the healthy person, it must cause the disease in the healthy person. Fine. Then it also, in the third postulate, he said that these microorganisms, these microorganisms must grow on culture, and that's a debatable. It's grow on culture. Just because they grow on the culture, you can say culture growth of microorganism. See, suppose this is a one person. This is one person. Now we detected some of the organisms. In this individual's body. This is a microorganism. We detect some of the microorganism, and now there are, how we can say these microorganisms are pathogenic. So this Robert Koch, he provided some of the postulates. If this microorganism satisfied all those postulates, then only we can say this microorganisms are pathogenic in nature. Nature wise, they are a pathogen. Getting the points? Yeah. Now, so what things this microorganisms have to fulfill? The first thing it have to fulfill is that it must only present in the healthy person, not unhealthy person, first of all. And not in the healthy person. He's lightning because he is a healthy. Yeah. So it is not present in the healthy person. This is a healthy one, and this is a unhealthy person. This is a healthy person and this is a unhealthy person. Now, the thing which you have to understand is that the organism only confined to the unhealthy person, and it will not present on the healthy persons. Now, the second things this microorganism have to fulfill in order to you can say behave as a pathogens is that this microorganism, once it is you can say extracted from the diseased person, it must grow on the culture. It must grow on the culture. If it grow on the culture, then it satisfies the Robert Koch second postulate. Getting the points? Now, the second thing is that once they grow on the culture, and then if we inoculate this organism into the, you can say, the healthy person, if we transfer this organism into the healthy person, it must cause the disease in the healthy person. Get the points? These are the third postulate. Now, the fourth postulate says that the microorganism can be re-isolated from the experimentally to the infected animals. Now, remember, the organism which comes in this organism, the organism which come into this individual. Now, if we can isolate, if it is isolatable, again, then it confirms that this microorganism is really pathogenic. So The further verification is the re-isolation. Now you can pay your attention here and just understand that, see, maybe if this person is, you can say, very much immunocompromised, or maybe it's a susceptible to this type of pathogens, this microorganism. That's why they are only causing the agent. Okay, so it doesn't show that it is a microorganism, it is a pathogen. Maybe it's a microorganism which is only restricted and limited to causing disease in this person, because their genetic program is you can say made like this to acquire this microorganism. Okay, that's why it shows that if we will transfer this microorganism to the another organism, okay, and maybe their genetic program is not you can say program, or like this disease unhealthy persons, okay, unhealthy person, it means that microorganisms which causes the disease are universal. Okay, it can cause in the you can say in the susceptible person, and it can also cause in unsusceptible person. What I mean by the susceptible and unsusceptible, I mean is that these organisms, once they got into the healthy person from the culture plate, from the growth plate, it will not destroyed by the, you can say, the immune system. If it is destroyed by the host immune system, we cannot call this organism as a pathogen. Maybe it is a part of normal flora of this healthy person. We see in the normal flora. Yeah, are you getting the points? Fine. So these are the some Robert Koch postulate. Once again, the first postulate is the microorganism must found in the diseased person and not in the healthy person. Second thing is, when we isolate these microorganisms, they must grow on the culture. Okay, and this cultured isolated organism, when we inoculate to the healthy person, it must causes signs and symptoms, or we can say the disease in the healthy person. Fine. And also the fourth postulate says that last criteria which really confirm that this microorganism is a pathogenic in nature only when we re-isolate this organism into this healthy person. Got the points? Yeah, but there are challenges. You know that not all pathogens can be isolated. Yeah, not all pathogens can be isolated and grown into the culture plate, media plate. Yeah, the example is the virus. Example is the viruses. Got the points? Yeah. And if we talk about causing the disease or some sign and symptoms, you know that some of the, you can say, organisms, they are so silent that they don't exhibit any you can say sign and symptoms. They don't exhibit any kind of sign and symptoms. We said those organisms as a asymptomatic carriers. Yeah, we said those organisms as a asymptomatic carriers. Got the points? Yeah, you heard about one kind of infection called as the subclinical infection. Subclinical infection means organisms are present in the body, but they are not exhibiting any, you can say, the severe sign and symptoms. Okay, so that's called the asymptomatic carrier. And viruses, these are the two, you can say, the borderline or limitation of the Robert Koch postulate, or drawback of Robert Koch postulates. But still his postulates are used to confirm the organism as a pathogen, to cite organism as a pathogen. That's just the only limitation is linked with the viruses and asymptomatic carriers. Okay, then you understood this? Yeah. Then there is a molecular Koch postulates. Okay, That is a molecular Koch postulates. The molecular Koch postulate says that, first write the heading. The molecular Koch postulate says that these, you can say these are the set of experimental criteria that must be satisfied to show that the gene found in the pathogenic microorganism encode a product and that contribute to the disease caused by the pathogens. Now, understand the mechanism. Suppose this is one organism, and you know that organism have the genetic material and other structure. Now, their genetic material must code, okay? It must code for the synthesis of protein, okay? And this protein have the capacity to cause a disease. Understanding? This is the modern, you can say, the postulate which is given not by the Koch, okay? This is given by the another scientist, okay? But it is based on the Koch postulates only. It says that the organisms, okay, which is called as the pathogenic organism, it encode a product that contribute to the disease caused by the pathogens, okay? And this gene, okay, which code these proteins, they are called as the virulence, okay? The gene which is involved in the coding of this infectious protein, they are called as the virulence gene, okay? So this is a modern Koch postulates called as the molecular Koch postulates. So now let's summarize what we have studied. We have studied in today's lecture about the type of host-parasite interaction. We've seen different type of interaction, starting from the mutual interaction, commensalism interaction, parasitism interaction, symbiotic interaction, fine, and we've seen other interaction also. Then we studied that what's the use to understand all these interaction. Then we've seen the significances. If we understood these interaction, we can, you can say, that treat the patient effectively. You can say establish one kind of harmonious relationship between the host and the parasite. Fine, we can develop the easily early diagnosis. We can diagnose early the disease. We can also develop a new kind of treatment, okay? We can understand by understanding the interaction, we can also understand the life cycle. Got the points? Yeah. And at last we seen that how we can say that the organisms are pathogenic, because we are generally using that, okay, all the microorganisms are not, you can say, harmful for us, okay? Many are beneficial, but we have to cite the proper criteria in order to classify the pathogenic organisms and non-pathogenic organisms. So it's the Koch postulates, okay, which provided some of the criteria by which we can, you can say, make one line between the pathogenic organism and non-pathogenic organism. Understood? No problem. So thank you with having me. Bye. Have a nice day.